home of the Bobcats, and we thank you, Grizzly Nation, for tuning in to 106.7 KLKC Parsons or KLKC Sports YouTube, wherever you may be watching, listening, or both. I'm Jack Leake alongside Isabel Redford on the call as we're 15 minutes away from tip-off of the first game and the first day and or afternoon of the Burlington Invitational of 2023, as your Lady Grizzlies will actually be taking on an SEK foe in the Lady Bulldogs from Independence. This is your Tank Connection pregame show of Grizzly basketball, and just a quick reminder that the boys will not be playing what one might call directly after this game, as it will be roughly 3 hours after the conclusion of this contest. The boys will be taking on the Cyclones of Ottawa later tonight at 8:15. So be sure to tune in for that pregame show around 8 o'clock p.m. on YouTube or on the station. We'd love to have you for that one as well. As Labette County comes into this contest off of a big win at Pittsburgh on the season. Labette County is 5-3 on the year, 4-5. 4-5. I was thinking of the boys team, and the Lady Bulldogs are 8-1 and actually ranked third in the 4A state rankings. As we will go ahead and take a look back at that game against Pittsburgh, in which the Lady Grizzlies trailed at halftime, struggled to score the basketball mightily, and they were down. It was 19-15 at halftime, and then the Lady Grizzlies go on in the second half to win it 45-35 on the back of Nevaeh Jones. Kaiten O'Brien had a good game as well, Isabel, but Nevaeh Jones, back-to-back games, has led the Grizzlies in scoring. She scored 14 against Fort Scott a couple weeks ago, and scored 15 against the Lady Purple Dragons. Scored 15, led the way again. Her and Kaiten combined for 28 of Labette County's 45 points. So just talk about the development of Nevaeh Jones in particular, and Labette County able to claw back on the road in a tough place to play a basketball game.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting game last against the Lady Dragons, because it was something where you thought, oh man, here we go again. Are we going to kind of go through a slump where we're kind of struggling here? But they did a fantastic job, and even with Coach Vollmer in the postgame show just blatantly said, we didn't play hard enough. And so it was one of those things where it was good to see them, fight their way back in it and kind of, make a name for themselves and just declare, just because we're down and out in the first half doesn't mean we can turn around and make it a different story. And so we definitely got to see kind of the grit and the effort that these Lady Grizzlies put forth. So I thought they did a phenomenal job with that. As far as Nevaeh Jones goes, it's been so much fun to see her just kind of explode as a basketball player. Coach Vollmer's just encouraged her to continue to, just play how she knows, play naturally, have fun. She obviously has a lot of game experiences. She's played in a lot of tournaments and different things outside of high school ball, and so it's just been kind of cool to use her and just watch her just kind of grow as a threat here for this Labette County team. So I definitely hope that we see a lot more, just her continuing to improve and be confident with the ball and confident with what she knows how to do, and just watch her basketball IQ continue to grow, because you're definitely getting to see a lot of that aggression. She's not afraid to put up shots anymore, and even on the defensive end, she's improving there dramatically. So definitely excited to see what she can provide for us this week.
Labette County started the season 1-4, had a poor circle tournament, and then came back home and started SEK play with the Independence Bulldogs. We will get into how that matchup went back on December 13th before the winter break later on in our Tank Connection pregame show. But since that 1-4 start, Labette County has won 3 of their last 4 contests, and that loss came to the number 1 team in the SEK. But Isabel, it will be nice for at least a week to come to Burlington, maybe shake off some mid-season nerves if you're on the floor playing. Not really for us, I guess that is nothing much changes, but you don't have to worry too much about fighting for an SEK title. While this Burlington Invitational can come at a good time for some teams and come at a bad time for some teams, I feel like it's kind of coming at a good time for these Lady Grizzlies, because Landry O'Brien is on the floor warming up. I did speak to Nevaeh Jones as I was walking up here before we started the show here this afternoon, and she said she did not expect Coach Vollmer to play Landry. She said, I don't think she's going to play today, but we'll see. She is out there warming up, so I think it's a good thing for Landry to play a little bit sparingly, maybe Friday or Saturday, it sounds like, more so than today. And then start SEK play, because it'll be hard for her to get going. You mentioned might be hard for Landry to trust that wrist, trust that you're going to fall on it, block a shot with it, shoot with it, dribble with it. So it'll be good for her to shake some of that out here this week at Burlington when maybe some of the games don't matter as much, at least in terms of some of these goals that these Lady Grizzlies have at the end of the season. 9.5 minutes until the beginning of the ball game. We're going to step aside for a 30-second timeout, and we will come back with the continuance of our Tank Connection pregame show and take a peek back at how that earlier matchup went with these Bulldogs back on December 13th. A 30-second break here on KLKC Parsons. Connection pregame show on KLKC Sports YouTube and right here on 106.7 KLKC Parsons. Jack Leake with Isabel Redford. 8.5 minutes until tip from the 2023 Burlington Invitational. Lady Bulldogs, Lady Grizzlies coming up after that 8-minute mark surpasses, but we're here to take a look back at that first contest between your Lady Grizzlies and these Lady Bulldogs who, like I said, 8-1 in the season, right up there at the top. Right there with Fort Scott duking it out for that SEK title. So these Lady Bulldogs we knew coming into the season was going to be right there, and they have met those expectations, and they're definitely at the top. Everybody else is kind of fighting at their heels a little bit, but Labette County's not too far behind. But it didn't really look like that back on December 13th when the Lady Bulldogs put it on your Lady Grizzlies, 38-22. To date, Isabel, it was definitely the worst that our Lady Grizzlies have looked.
Yeah.
Their box score, quarter by quarter, went 8-2, 8, and 4 in that second half out of that 8-point third quarter and 4-point fourth quarter. That's 12 combined second half points. Kaiten O'Brien had 11 of them. She scored 14 of our team's 22 points, and the next scorers were Shelby Wilson with 3, Audrey Dewey and Addison Rexwinkle with 2, and Ridley Lynn Cherney with 1. So Labette County held Independence to 38 points, and their big scorer, Abby Veely, held to just a dozen points, 5 in the second half, when Labette just trailed by 4 going into the fourth and final stand. But it was a very poor offensive outing for Labette. 38 points should win you a game, but they couldn't get near that mark.
Yeah, they definitely struggled scoring an offense, and we kind of talked about this on the way up here, is like their issue wasn't their defense because they did a good job of containing Veely, as she has been known to have some kind of standout games and different things, and to only hold her to 12 was great. But you're exactly right. You have to be able to score more than that 22 points that they put up in order to win ball games, and that's in any game. That's not even just saying, oh, well, Independence is really good this year, whatever the excuse might be. There was no excuse for that. And so hopefully that Coach Rollmer's going to adjust things. She's going to kind of work that rotation. And we've had a lot of scorers come a long way since that game. We talked about earlier, Nevaeh's just kind of grown a lot as a basketball player. Audrey Dewey's come a long way. Our bench, people that Vollmer's put in have come a long way. And so I definitely think it'll be a much different game, but they're going to have to be able to facilitate on offense if they're going to be able to make anything happen.
Right. As you make a good point, I feel like Labette County's maybe changed a little bit more than Independence in that gap, and in a good way. And I don't mean Independence has not changed. I don't say that in a bad way, but I feel like Labette struggled with a little bit more of adversity than Independence.
Yeah.
Things have came more easy for Independence. You have your same head coach as last year. Coach Bird does a fantastic job there at Indy. You have a lot of your returning players, at least your production. Labette County brings in transfers, the O'Brien girls. Landry got hurt not too long before that first game against Independence, so you're still trying to find that identity without Landry. And Labette County and Labette County's had to fight a little bit more than Independence, I think, this season. So Labette's settled in since that contest back in the second week of December and have something more to hold on to in terms of an identity, whereas I think Independence has had that longer. So we'll just kind of see how it all falls tonight. It'll be close. And we talked about the separation amongst some teams in the SEK on the way up here, and it's not that great. It's not very vast. I say great in terms of like majority. Labette County's right there.
Yeah.
They're 3-2 in the league. Again, this game has no implications on SEK standings. It's a midseason tournament, not league play. We're playing Independence if you're just joining us. But Labette County's right there. Fort Scott's definitely up there, and Independence is above you as well. The Lady Vikes are playing some good basketball right now. But the talent separation isn't a lot. So Labette County's right there and will have a chance, I feel like late in February, to have a real good shot at that SEK title. I really believe that. 4 minutes until tip from the Burlington Invitational. Enough with that SEK title talk. We're here to win a Burlington Invitational tournament, and we're 4 minutes from kicking that off. Lady Grizzlies taking on those Lady Bulldogs from Independence. We're going to step aside for a 30-second timeout and come back with our opponent preview brought to you by Isabel Redford.
Start our opponent preview for tonight's game, that being the Lady Bulldogs from Independence. And we're going to kind of jump right in here to kind of where they stand so far in the season, as the Lady Bulldogs sit 8-1 and 3-1 in SEK League play. Their only loss coming to Parsons, which the score on that was 55-45 in favor of the Lady Vikings. And so they've definitely kind of made their mark here this season, just getting off to a good start. They finished 4th in the SEK League last year, but they have now set themselves up nicely to compete for first place this year, as their Coach Bryson Bird has definitely had his sights set on that since taking over this program. As one of the things he kind of mentioned, pregame, that these Lady Bulldogs had struggled with was just consistency on both sides of the ball. They wanted to be able to go, depending on whatever night they would go play a game, they would be good on offense but struggle defensively, and that would lose them the game. Or offensively, they'd be on fire, or defensively, they'd be on fire, and then on the other end of the floor, they just couldn't guard and they couldn't stop the other team from scoring. And so it's just something that, he's looked for that and tried to build a good winning culture, which so far this season it appears he's done that. He's kind of brought them all together, especially with Independence returning 4 of their 5 starters from last year. So these ladies have a lot of experience. They've played a lot of ball games. They've got a lot of good underclass talent. And so they definitely have what it takes to, kind of put a good run deep late in the season here. Of course, among those returning was Abby Veely, who we definitely is kind of our player to watch for this Lady Bulldog team, as she's not afraid to score from anywhere. She's really good at driving and definitely does a good job of sucking in the defense, because, again, she's good at scoring, and, other teams know that and they have to watch her. Then we also have Riley Richenberger, and she's very good as well, has a nice shot. Is just kind of a facilitator for this team, as well as Camden Etchison. All of these ladies, have a lot of experience. They know what it takes to win ball games. And then with the help of Coach Bird, they've been able to do that this year. So for the Lady Grizzlies, they're definitely going to have to, manage. Again, they held both Veely and Richenberger to 12 points last game, and so it's something they're going to have to do again. Just because they didn't have a superb night doesn't mean that tonight's their night. So it'll be exciting to see. But, yeah, the Lady Grizzlies are just going to, have to gain some confidence here and understand that just because they lost the first time around doesn't mean they can pull this win off tonight.
That is your opponent preview brought to you by Isabel Redford. Thank you, Isabel, as those Lady Bulldogs are stingy without a doubt, and it will be all our Grizzlies can handle here this afternoon. Our national anthem is taking place. We'll be back in 2 minutes. off here in Burlington Middle School. 8 minutes is put on the scoreboard on both ends of the gymnasium. Starters for the Lady Bulldogs: number 4, a senior, Riley Richenberger; number 12, Abby Veely, also a senior; number 13, Alex Jones, a junior; number 24, Cam Etchison, a junior; and number 34, Tian Johnson, a junior. And for your Lady Grizzlies, it is Ridley Lynn Cherney, Shelby Wilson, Kaiten O'Brien, Audrey Dewey, and Nevaeh Jones. Nevaeh has led the Grizzlies in scoring the last 2 ball games, and so we'll see what she can do here this afternoon. As both teams have one final huddle before tip-off. Karen, if you have that Scene Setter MP3 file, you can go ahead and play it, and if you can't find it, go ahead and just play a 30-second break, and we'll be back with tip-off here on KLKC Parsons.
Broadcasting live.
Meister for 3 in the lead! Yes!
From the studio of KLKC Parsons,
Wilson launches another 3, and it's pure for Shelby Wilson!
this is Grizzly Basketball on 106.7 FM KLKC Parsons.
Unbelievable win! I cannot believe it! It's Wilson and Johnson at mid-floor on the Burlington Bobcat in black. A lighter colored wood on the floor, a newer looking gymnasium, old-fashioned wooden bleachers on both sides. Labette County wins the tip, working the floor right to left. Independence the other direction, man-to-man defense for the Lady Bulldogs. Audrey Dewey with it on possession number 1 of the ball game. Here at 3:30 in the afternoon, game number 1 of the 23 Burlington Invitational. Kaiten O'Brien leads the Grizzlies in scoring with the basketball, working it around the horn. Nice cut to Nevaeh Jones, misses a layup and a late whistle, a block on the Lady Bulldogs, and that'll send Nevaeh to the line to shoot a couple of free throws, but good ball movement on the opening possession for Labette County. Nevaeh's first free throw is good, nothing but the net from the junior, who has been fantastic. 1-0 Labette County, just 27 seconds into the ball game. Second free throw's good as well. 2-0 Labette County, a productive opening possession for the team in red. Independence in their white uniforms. 30 seconds in, here comes Richenberger with the basketball. Senior point guard for the Lady Bulldogs. Off the screen, Etchison kicks it back out to the point. Richenberger. Labette County in a man-to-man defense as well. Here's a back down drive. Etchison stolen away by Kaiten O'Brien, and here she comes, crossing the black half-court stripe and slowing it down. Wilson with it, continues to work it. All 5 Grizzlies beyond the arc. Now Kaiten cuts, doesn't get it. Dewey in the corner. Surveys, needs help. A 5-second call might come, and she gets rid of it. Ball has yet to come to the left side of the floor, which is where Isabel and I are sitting. Here's O'Brien, gets by 2 Bulldogs and misses a layup, but Ridley's there for the putback. What an effort to hang with the play by Lynn Cherney, and she makes hay. 4-0 Labette County, 6:40 to go in the opening quarter. Veely with it. The elite scorer for Independence, going to have to hold her in check. Held her to just 12 in the last game back in December. Here's Johnson underneath. A high shot off the glass is good. That was about from the second knock above the block on the right side on the floor. And she got it to go high off the window. 4-2 Labette County. Labette County scored on every possession. Here's Dewey looking to make it 3 straight. She has it blocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with LC. And they'll get a chance to throw it in underneath their own basket. It'll be Kaiten throwing it in. Screens are set at the elbows on either side, but O'Brien flips it to the outlet in Nevaeh. She'll take it downhill, wanted a step back, didn't get it. She'll send it back to Audrey Dewey, and now Kaiten O'Brien comes to collect. Man-to-man still from Independence, 4-2 Labette, 2 minutes into the game. Nevaeh with the jump stop and kick. Well closed out by Abby Veely on Dewey in the corner with the basketball. She'll reverse the rock. 4 Grizzlies beyond the arc. Wilson hits the deck underneath the rim and loses her right shoe. She's going to take a moment and put it on. Labette County is still running their offense. Shelby Wilson gets her shoe on, and she's back in play with the ball. Far side in the corner. 2 dribbles with the left hand. Nowhere to go. Good defense from Independence and a long possession for Labette County. Wilson at the top of the key. Gives a little head shake. No one bites. She'll reverse it to the near side with Audrey Dewey. Nowhere to go for Labette County on this possession, as I'm joined by Isabel Redford, who is helping me with my scoreboard chart. Thank you, Isabel. 5 minutes to go, just over first quarter. Long possession, Isabel, for Labette County, going on probably 90 seconds.
Yes, they're definitely doing a good job working the ball around, looking for an opening, as Independence defense is just as good.
As Nevaeh misses a 3 from the left wing, and it's tipped out by Labette County, ending the longest possession I've seen in some time. So Independence will get a crack at the lead or tie. Ball is in the hands of the point guard. Richenberger with it, throws it inside, tipped by Ridley and stolen by Lynn Cherney. Here comes Labette County out in front, 3-on-3 situation. O'Brien from inside the free throw line, in and out. Rebound Etchison. Here comes Camden Etchison the other way. Good bounce pass across the paint, and she misses the layup and then is fouled on the second effort. That's Alex Jones on the backside dish, but what a gorgeous pass from Etchison. So at the line, Jones is going to try to tie this ball game.
Yeah, as Etchison completely got the 2 Lady Grizzlies underneath completely off guard and almost had an easy bucket. But now the Lady Grizzlies are going to make her earn it.
2 free throws from Jones, and the first one is short, as I'm pretty sure she can hear me, as I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. There's a decent little crowd in here for both clubs. Certainly not full by any means in the smaller gym, but I'm pretty sure everyone can hear me when I'm talking during free throws. Second free throw is good. So 4-3 is the score. Alex Jones splits the pair. 4.5 minutes first quarter. Here's Ridley Lynn Cherney off the press break pass. Labette County now in a half-court set. Only 1 foul's been called on either team. That one was on Ridley. O'Brien given a lane, shoots a floater off the glass. A little runner misses. Long rebound to Jones. Here comes Etchison, far side, dribbling into 4 red jerseys, and chooses to back it out now. Here's Johnson. She's got a 2-point basket. Looked like a double dribble, and a block is called on Labette County as Johnson was exiting the paint as she was cutting through it. And that'll be the second team foul on Labette County. And they're going to get, is that Ridley again? Or Audrey? That is on Ridley. So that's her second, so she'll sit. And Allie Martin, who was already at the scores table anyways, checks in for Ridley. Independence throws it in. Nevaeh Jones didn't see it coming. She maybe could have gotten a hand on it. Etchison throws it inside to Johnson, and she scores. I'm telling you, Isabel, Tian Johnson is a big piece of this Independence team.
Yeah, they definitely, while Independence has those outside shooters, Johnson knows how to work that low block and does a very good job, as she easily scored there with 2 Grizzlies on her back.
Here's Nevaeh, given room, elects not to take the three-pointer left wing. Kaiten O'Brien left open for 3 on the right side, in and out, and then back in. Kaiten O'Brien gets the first three-pointer of the ball game to go, and your Grizzlies are back on top 7-5.
Yeah, Kaiten's had several shots rattle in and out, so it was good to see that one bounce her way.
Here's Etchison, driving baseline, has to throw a jump pass in the air. Veely has yet to score, drives, has it knocked out of her hands by O'Brien, and then off of Veely's knee. Oh, and then the far official comes in and corrects the judge under the baseline, or under the rim rather, and says it was off of Kaiten, and it will stay with Independence. 2 Bulldogs check in.
Still, though, good effort by the Lady Grizzlies, as she's not an easy one to defend.
As neither of these Bulldogs are in the roster that we were handed here at Burlington. So I'll see if I can get on Max Preps and identify these 2 players for you wearing white. But for now, Veely's cradling the ball between the left and right hands. She'll pitch it out to the top of the key. Here's a little step back, now drive. Caught in the air was Etchison on the curl. Baseline, Etchison, short little jumper, too strong. Rebound, Wilson. She flies in from the left block. Here comes Labette County with some momentum. Caton O'Brien with the ball. As I'm assuming it's Kayla Lamos and Brooklyn Maddox, both freshmen wearing 14 and 15 accordingly. Those are the rosters I see here on Max Preps. If they're not accurate and you're an Independence fan, feel free to comment on our YouTube and let me know who they are. It's number 14 and 15. But for now, we'll go with Lemos and Maddox. Here's Caton O'Brien riding the hip of Veely. Another long possession for Labette County, Isabel.
Yeah, they can get the ladies to work the ball around the floor, so we'll see what they can come up with here.
Here's Nevaeh Jones, a near travel, but kept that right foot dug into the hardwood. Wilson with a hand in her face, a three is in and out in the hands of Etchison. The rebound tumbles. 2 minutes and counting first quarter. A pass inside is either thrown away or tipped out of bounds, and they say tipped by Labette. It stays with Independence. Two Bulldogs check back in. It is Alex Jones and Richenberger check in for Etchison and Johnson. Here comes Independence looking for the tie underneath. They don't quite get it. Ball rolls off the front of the rim for Lemos. And here comes Labette County the other way, up by 2. 1:40 left in the first quarter from Burlington. We are in the middle school here for the first game of the day. Labette County boys will play at 8:15 here in the middle school against Ottawa. Here's a turnover. O'Brien throws it away. Here comes Independence. Veely still yet to score. Low-scoring game for both clubs. A long three-pointer is off the right side by Richenberger, but the offensive board's in the hands of Lemos. Here comes Maddox around a curl. Spins, shoots, and gets it to go. We're knotted at 7. Maddox with her first points. Seven to 7, 60 seconds in the first quarter. O'Brien looking to drive. She has 3 points. She'll kick it out to Nevaeh. She's got a couple, looking for 4, and she gets it from the free throw line. Nevaeh Jones, when her confidence level is high, so is her scoring. 4 points for Nevaeh, 9 to 7 lead for Labette.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful kind of curl cut, dribbled, shook her man off of her, and then just pulled her right up at the free throw line and put it in for 2. So nice work there by Nevaeh.
Coach Vollmer animated on the sideline. You know, coaches always have mixed feelings about playing an in-league opponent in a regular season tournament, as we have a foul on the floor. As Coach Vollmer does have a fair point, as no one really had possession of that basketball and they still called a foul. She's still pleading her case over there, saying that's a 50-50 ball, and it certainly was, but they do call a foul on Labette County, as they call that on Allie Martin. I think that's just her first. So they have 3 on there.
Yeah, she hasn't been in the game long enough to have 3 fouls.
Here's Veely in the corner. She has 18 seconds to get it off as Independence trails by 2 points. Here's Maddox inside, and a foul's going to be called on Nevaeh Jones as both palms press the face of Coach Vollmer on the far side, as she wanted that stop. And they still might get one, as that's just the 4th team foul on Labette County, and Independence will have to throw it in under their own goal again. They're going to get Nevaeh. Indeed, that is her first. They go backside block. Here's a layup. It is good. As getting lost on the backside was Kayla Lemos, and Labette County has 4 seconds to go. Here's Rexwinkle up ahead to Allie Martin. A long 2-pointer is blocked. A foul's called as Labette County's going to be bailed out here, and Allie Martin's going to go shoot 2 free throws to give Labette County a lead going into the second quarter. That looked clean to me, Isabel.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they called, but so now she's going to shoot 2 free throws for Labette County. So we'll see if she can stretch the lead here.
Martin misses the first. She'll have 1 more. The clock is at 000. As I got to tell you, Isabel, Martin's second is good. It is hard to shoot free throws when there's no one at the lane.
Yeah, well, and the gym's quiet. Everyone's looking at you. I mean, there's a lot of pressure there, but
I'd like to have a couple teammates there just to
yes,
for that psychic side of it. But Allie Martin was on an island and got one of the 2 free throws to go to give Labette County a 10-9 lead at the end of the first quarter from Burlington. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the second quarter here on KLKC Parsons.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
As we welcome you back to Burlington, Kansas, Jack Week with Isabel Redford. Labette County leads Independence 10-9 at the conclusion of the first quarter. Isabel, tell me what you saw from the Lady Grizzlies in that first quarter.
Definitely started out strong. I feel like it was, they kind of are just keeping the Lady Bulldogs in front of them. They're not doing anything, they're not trying to play above where they believe they should be at. I think they're doing a really good job defensively, so hopefully we continue to see that here in the second quarter.
Independence does maintain possession for quarter number 2. Jones traveled underneath. That's a good call by the baseline official, as Jones definitely did some Cupid shuffle on that right block, and I was afraid the referee was going to get the foul as she did proceed to put up a shot. Independence in a full court press, a long pass from Dewey to Wilson. Wilson's going to hurl it to Davis, who just got in the ball game, and she's fouled as she descended back down to the hardwood on the catch. As Jaden Davis is someone, Isabel, who hadn't played varsity minutes until against Pittsburgh on Friday, and she did an awesome job for Labette County.
Yeah, she definitely played confident and didn't let the fact that she was, kind of getting those varsity minutes get to her head or make her nervous or anything, so it was fun to watch her.
Dewey lets a three-pointer fly off the glass. It is a no-no, and here comes Independence, 10-9. Independence for the lead, and she gets it. It's Richenberger from beyond the arc. 12-9 Bulldogs retake the lead.
That was definitely a pretty shot there by Richenberger, as she's going to have to be contained before she gets hot.
Labette County cannot afford to lay an egg in this second quarter against a Lady Bulldog squad that you know can put one away on you if you're not careful. Labette County lost to this squad by 16 back at home before winter break, but they were just down a couple possessions going into the fourth quarter. Here's Nevaeh Jones off the glass. She misses, and coming away with the board on the near side is Richenberger, and here she goes full length inside the paint. No one stopped her. Floater is good. No one stopped her.
Yeah, she's definitely, like I said, she's definitely somebody that'll stick it to you and score points really fast if you're not careful, and that's so far what she's doing.
O'Brien hoists a three, in and out, rebound Veely. And here comes Abby the other way, has yet to score. A three-pointer in the corners, head fake. Long two-pointer, Etchison, no good. Rebound Davis, and she's going to throw it too early. Stolen by Veely. Veely underneath, no. Rebound Davis again, and her outlet pass is successful this go-around. Here's O'Brien, awkward floater, front rim, no. Wilson can't save it. It'll be Independence ball.
Because that was just kind of a hectic series of possessions there. Mm-hmm. Both teams just kind of running down the floor.
Certainly an odd couple minutes to begin the second quarter, and I believe it's Coach Vollmer who would like a 30-second timeout, and I don't blame her. Labette County has allowed a 6-0 run to begin the second quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
.6:24 to go in the half out of a Coach Vollmer 30-second timeout after allowing a 5-0 Independence run to open up the second quarter. I said 6-0, it's 5-0, a three-pointer and a two-pointer, all from Riley Richenberger, someone who was held fairly quiet, scored just 4 points in Labette County's last contest against the Bulldogs. Clock is running. Here's Independence with the ball, looking to add to their 4-point lead. Here's Abby Veely, still yet to score. And here's Johnson underneath, off the glass. It's good. Those Bulldogs sure know how to use their big in Tian Johnson, and she is a good one, Isabel.
Yeah, she's definitely been somebody that's definitely been a threat to this Lady Grizzlies team. As I talked about earlier, she's just good down in the post, and right now they don't have anybody that's been matching her.
16-10 the score. O'Brien dumping to Wilson, who's posting up Johnson and draws a foul, and Shelby Wilson's going to shoot a pair. That's not something you see a lot, is Shelby Wilson on the block, but she had to go up and snag one with her right hand only, brought it into her chest and drew a foul. That's the second on Johnson, and each team has 4 fouls. Wilson's first free throw is good, and set to check in for Independence is Madison Bollinger.
Which, if you're Labette County, I mean, Independence isn't going to give any easy free shots here, so you have to, be aggressive and take it to them, and that's exactly what Shelby did.
Addison Rexwinkle checks in for Nevaeh Jones. And I don't think we got to the keys to the game as Wilson knocks down the second. We didn't get to the keys to the game in the pregame show, but one of them was get to the free throw line. Labette has not gotten to the free throw line in heaps like they had earlier in the season. And here's a foul on Caton O'Brien. Coach Vollmer wants a double dribble, but O'Brien just kind of armbarred Veely. And that is going to be the 5th on Labette County as a team. And I think it's just the first on Caton.
Yeah, I think so too. They haven't put it up there yet, but I believe that is correct.
Richenberger holding the ball above her head. Now turns her back to her defender in O'Brien. 5.5 minutes in the half to go. Richenberger still with it. She scored 5 points, looking to make it 8 off the 3 and misses. Rebound O'Brien. Wilson's both free throws made it a 4-point Independence advantage. As we have a travel on O'Brien, turnover Labette County.
As it looks like Vollmer's going to have her Lady Grizzlies press this time down the floor.
I know that's something you wanted them to do a little bit more of, but Abby Veely gets right through all of them and misses a floater. Allie Martin with the board, hurls one to O'Brien. Across half court, here she comes inside the paint. Head fakes, a bounce pass is tracked down near the Independence bench by Wilson. Here comes Allie Martin, and a block is called on Independence on the baseline as Martin was playing hard, trying to get to the cup using that baseline.
Again, you're seeing those Lady Grizzlies draw those fouls by taking it at Independence, and in that case, Bollinger didn't move her feet.
Audrey Dewey takes a breather. She's replaced by Addison Rexwinkle. Here's a set play for Wilson, and the 10-footer is drained by the senior. And just like that, the Independence lead is just 2. Shelby Wilson on a 4-0 run in the second quarter. Ball is deflected out of bounds by Labette County on this other end, and it'll be Independence ball inbound underneath their rim.
That's something Shelby Wilson's been really good at, is just catch, shoot. As long as she doesn't have too much time to think,
yes.
She is very accurate with the ball.
4:40 in the half. 16 Independence, 14 Labette County. Lemos with it, whipped around. Richenberger for 3, got it.
Is that 3 threes now for Richenberger?
2 threes.
Or 2?
She has 8 points though.
Yeah, she is definitely, and both of them were from that spot, I believe, so she's definitely money from there and knows that's her comfort spot.
5-point Independence advantage. Here's a cut. Martin, pass, deflected out, off of Independence. It stays with Labette, and checking in for Independence is Jones as well as Maddox. And Veely as well as Bollinger will take a seat. Inbounds goes to Jones in the corner. Here's O'Brien with the set play, trying to get a 3 off, pulls it down. Wilson throws it back to Caton. 4 minutes, second quarter. A deep 3 head fake. Wilson will have it. She'll want to drive baseline, looking for a cutter. Finds Caton above the low right block. She's double teamed and a jump ball's called. It'll stay with Labette County, but Wilson it was a good pass, but it kind of put Caton in a tough baseline spot as the baseline was acting as a third defender on O'Brien.
Yeah, and then Shelby's defender kind of drew off her, and so they ended up double teaming Caton. So that was just kind of an unfortunate spot for her to get stuck in, but we'll see what they choose to do on this inbounds play.
Checking in for Labette County is Boss. It is Aubrey Boss. And here comes O'Brien, and they're going to call a foul on Independence underneath. That'll be 16 fouls on Independence, so one more, and Labette will be shooting free throws. Clock has stopped at 3:40.
It'd be nice for Labette County to get some good, they've earned this possession, but they need to score here.
As Nevaeh kind of had a wide open layup but took her steps in an awkward fashion and got caught under the rim. Offensive rebound, though, goes to O'Brien, and she misses a runner, and here comes Independence with numbers. Jones underneath. Has to find somewhere to go. Wilson trying to create a jump ball. Richenberger for three. She misses, but a travel on Richenberger before she got the shot off.
So that definitely saves Labette County a possession there, as there's only 3:20 left to go in the second quarter. They need to, kind of just keep it within fighting distance here of this Labette, or this Lady Bulldog team here, as they're only down 5.
This is similar to the first meeting amongst these two teams. Here's a near steal. O'Brien somehow comes away with it. Here's Wilson in the corner. 3:05 to go in the half. Coach Bird working all of his sideline. Timeout Labette County, as it'll just be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here and thank Labette Health for powering today's broadcast of Grizzly basketball. Other sponsors for our broadcast here this afternoon include.
Other sponsors for tonight's game include Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Herman Lumber, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, the Labette Bank, the Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, the Unified School District of USD 506, the Corner Store of Altamont, Day and Zimmerman, and SEK Orthopedic.
Again, Labette County will have possession out of the Coach Vollmer 30-second timeout. As Audrey Dewey tried to check in right before the ball was inbounded, but she's going to have to stay till the next dead ball. Here comes Nevaeh Jones. A little bit of penetration, kicks it to Wilson. Aubrey Boss is posting up. Here comes Jones on the baseline. Has to watch her feet, and does. Reverses it. Boss is still playing post, defended by Jones. Other four Grizzlies are beyond the arc. Here's Wilson with the jump stop kick. Rexwinkle has a three blocked out of bounds by Richenberger, and it'll maintain possession. Labette County. And now Dewey will check in along with Martin. .242 to go. Here's O'Brien. She'll throw it in. Nevaeh Jones off a couple screens. Settles in. Now Martin at the top of the key. Man-to-man defense still from Independence. 2.5 minutes left. Here's Wilson with it. She's playing a little bit more aggressive in terms of shot hunting. Here's O'Brien with a deep three-pointer. Nearly fell. Dewey somehow gets the board and then travels on her way to the deck. Wasn't necessarily something she could have controlled, just a good hard-nosed play. But a turnover, Labette County regardless. Abby Veely checks in for Etchison. Labette County trails by 5 with 2:20 to go. Labette County just has 4 points in this quarter. This game is looking a lot like the one back in December when Labette County played Independence for the first time. They were close for 3 quarters, and then that fourth quarter was just putrid. We do have a turnover on Independence, though, off an entry pass. Inside to Jones, goes out of bounds off her fingertips, and Labette County will get a crack at this 5-point Independence advantage.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a good job of defending Independence and keeping them from, just popping off with scoring so far, but they're not doing much on the offensive end, which again is like kind of what we saw last time these two teams met. So we'll see what Labette County can do here.
Near backcourt violation, and that results in a throwaway. Here comes Maddox, left-hand layup, no, and she'll shoot 2 free throws as she's fouled hard and hits the floor. So Lebec County has definitely backed it off a little bit offensively in terms of production. Independence hasn't thrived, but they've definitely done what Lebec County should be doing, and that's scoring every once in a while at least. But at the line shooting 2 is Brooklyn Maddox to try to get the lead out to 7. Jaden Davis set to check in if she makes the first, or I guess it won't matter. First free throw is no good. Davis will check in for Shelby as that's her second. Each team just with 16 fouls with 1:55 to go in the half. As Lemos checks in for Jones for Independence. The second from Maddox is good, rattles home. The lead is 6 for Independence. Maddox with 3 points. The press from Independence has definitely given Lebec County a few fits and resulted in a few points swinging the other way. Here comes Jones, though. Near travel, and he's going to call it. Turnover, Lebec County. Those have piled up a little bit, quietly, but turnovers have definitely piled up for Lebec County.
Yeah, that's definitely something I think Coach Formel will talk to these girls at halftime about is, they've made a few kind of just passes without looking, or they've walked too much with their feet. And while sometimes the travel or different things can not necessarily be always in your control as your body momentum's going, the passing and the different things will definitely be something she wants to clean up here in the second half.
Maddox with the dump down to Lemos, and she misses off the bottom of the backboard. Lebec County's going to have to hold Independence scoreless for the next 90 seconds if we want it to be tight. Here's Jones for 3 left side. Off the mark, long rebound. Tipped out of bounds by Independence. That's Etchison, and it stays with Lebec, so a saved possession there. Credit Camden Etchison. Kinsley Boss checks in for Jaden Davis to potentially close out this first half. Here's O'Brien with the ball. Again, Lebec County, all in the credit of Shelby Wilson, just with 4 points in this quarter. Here's O'Brien, uncontested. Layup is good on the right side. Shot a little floater, and she got it to go. O'Brien's got 5 points. Independence up 20-16 with 60 seconds left in the half. Etchison, a deep 3, too strong. Rebound, Kinsley Boss. Outlet to Nevaeh Jones. A big 50 seconds for Lebec County. O'Brien looking for someone to pitch it to. Set plays called in. She comes to the top of the key. Little stutter step drive. Kick. Addison with it. Right back to Caton, and they'll reverse it. Ball hasn't touched the left side of the floor all possession. Hasn't in a while, actually. Here's Caton, and now a bounce pass to Dewey in the corner. Cut off baseline, or is she? And she's rejected, but a foul is called. And Audrey Dewey's going to shoot 2 free throws at the line. So Lebec County's kind of getting back to what they were doing in that first quarter. And that's knocking down a couple shots, driving with some confidence, not turning it over, and getting to the stripe.
Yeah, as Independence isn't afraid of contact, and so Lebec County being able to take it to them has definitely resulted in some of them, like you said, getting to the line more, which has been nice. But that was a good play there by Audrey Dewey as she just kind of backed her man down, made a little opening for herself on that left low block, and was able to put it up to draw the foul.
Audrey misses the first free throw. Last of the 2 right here. It is too strong, way off the mark. Rebound Johnson. 20-16 missed opportunity for Lebec County on that offensive possession. 20 seconds to go. Here's Etchison with the awkward turnaround floater. It's good. I'm not too sure how that fell, but it did.
Yes, that was definitely I didn't think it was going in, but it was a beautiful shot.
Dewey underneath the rim with 4 seconds and a travel on Boss in the corner. That was a tough spot, though, for Kinsley Boss to be put in, as Lebec County's making it easy for Independence to defend them on some of these possessions. So Independence is up by 6 with 4 seconds to go. Here's Veely, dribbling with her head down, picks it up. Here's a launched 3 off the glass, no good. But at your halftime break, your score, Independence 22, Lebec County 16. We're going to step aside for a 2-minute timeout and come back with our Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show of Lady Grizzly basketball on KLKC. Labette County trails Independence 22-16 at the halftime break. A couple box scoring totals for you. Labette County in the first quarter had 10 points. Independence had 8, and that second quarter was a bit of a dud for Labette County, had just 6 points. Shelby Wilson had 4 of those, and Independence had 13. As individual scoring leaders for you for Labette County, it's Caton O'Brien with 5. Nevaeh Jones and Shelby Wilson both have 4. Ridley Lynn Cherney has 2, and Allie Martin has 1. For Independence, leading the way is Riley Richenberger. She was held scoreless in the first quarter, but in that second quarter, she had 2 threes and a 2-pointer, giving her 8 points, leading the way for the Lady Bulldogs. Maddox had 4, Johnson had 4, Jones had 2, Etchison had 2, Veely had 2, and Lemos had 1. As Isabel, it's really showing signs of being very similar. Labette County certainly looks a little bit better, or they're at least showing flashes of being efficient on offense. But back on December 13th, when Independence came to Harrison and beat Labette County by 16, that game was close going into the fourth quarter and halftime and all that. It didn't stretch till towards the end of the game. But Labette County wasn't even really showing flashes of being good offensively. They were just sluggish flat out all night. But at least this afternoon, they're showing signs of playing a little bit better and giving Independence a better run for their money. That's at least what I've seen.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They look a little bit more composed, and while Independence has done a good job at times breaking down the Lady Grizzlies defense, I think that the Lady Grizzlies have also, you can tell that they're a little bit more prepared. They kind of know, where the ball's going to go. And even offensively, while there was that stretch there where they kind of went cold, and they haven't made the best passes this first half, and there's been some different things that they've kind of struggled with. But still, nonetheless, they've done a lot better of working the ball around, at least giving themselves a chance to score. And there's been definitely a lot of shots that have kind of rattled in and out for these Lady Grizzlies, that not being necessarily an excuse. But even if half those shots had gone in, I think it'd be a little bit of a different ball game. So they've shot well. They've done things pretty well in my book. I just think they're just going to have to clean up kind of those, mishaps and turnovers. And just continue to play defense. And when they get to that fourth quarter, especially if the game, you don't want them to stretch that lead anymore. You want to come out in the second half and have the points start swinging your way, especially first. You kind of want to make that first punch, get the momentum on your side. And then come fourth quarter, when that ball game's close, or, whether you're up or down, keep it within that 4-point range. Not be so tired, like condition-wise, don't just – okay, here we go, fourth quarter, let's go. Like, be aggressive and, take the initiative. Don't let them, put up, a bunch of three-pointers or make easy buckets. Like, continue to just play disciplined and play hard. And I think they'll definitely have a contention of winning this game.
In that first meeting, Independence had a 6-point lead on Labette County at halftime, and that's exactly what it is today. The score was 10-16 back in December at halftime in favor of Independence, and today it's 22-16 in favor of Independence. And in that third quarter back in December, Labette County actually outscored Independence 8-6. It was just a low-scoring game going into that fourth quarter, and then the Lady Bulldogs put it on the Lady Grizzlies and outscored them 16-4 in that final stand. So it's looking very similar to that game that we covered a month ago, but hopefully the conclusion of this game isn't similar, as Labette County just struggled to score, but at least they're on their way to a little bit higher of an offensive performance. If you can hold Independence, they're on track to score around 40, which is just about right. Labette County a little bit less, which is just about right, but if you can hold Independence to that 34-36 mark, have them below 22. If they score 44, it might be a little bit difficult to come back, as Labette County would have to score, upwards of 30 points in this half to win. But, I feel like Labette County can go on spurts just as well as anybody, but it's usually defensively triggered. And so you're going to have to get Independence out of a rhythm. It was definitely a game of not really runs, but a game of rhythm, or a first half of rhythm so far. There weren't just huge scoring runs where a team would go up 7, and then the coach would call a timeout, and the other team would tie it, and then it would happen again. It wasn't really a first half of runs. It was just kind of rhythm, as it was just little chunks just kind of tossed in for either team here and there. but Independence just had a couple more of those than Labette County. But turnovers weren't really a problem in that first quarter, but I feel like the reason why Independence is up 6 and this game isn't tied is because of some of those turnovers that really started to take place in the back half of that second quarter for Labette County.
Yeah, definitely. There was just, I mean, they had good, they'd have the ball for, they'd run 3 different inbounds plays, or they'd work the ball around for 90 seconds or 60 seconds, and then it didn't result in anything. And I think that's what's killing them, is because you're the team that's down, and you don't want to, you want to score. You don't want to waste time, especially now that we're going into the second half. And so I know Coach Vollmer would have brought that up. Turnovers are a big deal. Value the basketball, value the possession. Because that's stuff she said before. And so it's one of those things of the Lady Grizzlies just need to, be aware of that, be aware of the clock, have just good basketball IQ in that, and knowing, every possession we need to score, and we need to, keep them from scoring as well. So it's just one of those things where they're going to just have to play the game and, see what happens, but they're going to have to be intentional with every possession they get and capitalize, especially on any time that Independence causes a turnover or anything of that for themselves.
Just over 60 seconds until the beginning of the second half from Burlington Middle School. This has been your Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show. We'll be back with the second half in 60 seconds. Independence will open up the third quarter with the ball, and Tian Johnson is going to find herself with a trip to the free throw line as she is fouled by Shelby Wilson, and that's I think that's 2 on Shelby. I don't think it's 3. It is 2. Johnson shooting 2. First is good. As she sat most of that second quarter, Isabel, as Johnson's playing with 2 personal fouls as well. As I'm sure Coach Bird didn't want to flirt with her picking up a third early in that second quarter. Her second is good, and just like that, that lead goes to 8 for Independence.
Yeah, she's definitely, right there, Tian, just putting in the work to, have those points doing that way. But she's just so, she's just quietly good at her position. And she's just done a really good job for the Lady Bulldogs tonight.
Here's Ridley underneath, misses a bunny. Kind of an awkward shot as Audrey Dewey was blocked, and it fell into Ridley's hands, and she shot an open shot and just missed it. Kind of an awkward scenario there. Here comes Independence. Ball's in the corner. Veely will let it rip and hit.
And sooner or later, you'd expect her to kind of come alive, as she scored only 2 in the first half. But with her scoring potential, she's bound to get hot at some point, and you see that early here with the 3.
That draws a quick Coach Vollmer full timeout. Independence opens up the half on a 5-0 run, giving them a 27-16 lead.
Everybody is different. Some get injured, while others simply wear down. Whether it's on the court, on the field, or at the gym, Labette Health's orthopedic and sports medicine team has the training and skill to repair, restore, and renew. We share the same goal, and together we'll write your comeback story. For more information about Southeast Kansas' leading orthopedic and sports medicine team, go to labettehealth.com.
It's Labette County ball out of the frustrated Coach Vollmer's 60-second timeout as they've allowed Independence to stretch it to 11, fresh out of the locker rooms. Here's Ridley with it. A jump ball might be called. No, a foul on Jones.
As Coach Bird definitely isn't going to agree with that call as he wanted the jump, but still manages to encourage his girls to just keep fighting.
That's the first on Alex Jones, and each team has one foul in the early goings of this third quarter. Ball's entered into the hands of Ridley Lynn Cherney. A step back three from O'Brien, well off the mark, far left side. And a foul on Caton. She hits the deck hard on that left shoulder and gets up quickly.
Yeah, she definitely did hit the deck pretty hard there. You could hear the thud in the fairly quiet gym, but nonetheless, good effort still from O'Brien.
It's only two on Caton. 27-16 Independence, 90 seconds into the third quarter. Johnson with it. She's played well. She has 6, 2 in each quarter. Veely, fresh off of a possession with a three-pointer, has it and gives it up. Here's Richenberger, hits the deck, no foul called, and a travel on Riley Richenberger. A turnover for Independence. That's kind of nice to say.
Yeah, definitely. And like we talked about, I mean, that's something Labette County's going to have to capitalize on because they're not going to get very many of those. And being down 11, you have to take advantage when you can.
Here comes O'Brien. Kick out, Nevaeh Jones, big time three. She gets it! Nevaeh Jones, that's a big time rip and hit from the junior. Lead is quickly back to just 8 for Independence.
Yeah, and again, one of those things, you have to look to widen that box score. So it's nice to see Nevaeh being able to create some points going the Lady Grizzlies' way.
Abby Veely is fouled by Audrey Dewey, and Veely's going to shoot 2 free throws off the left-hand drive. First free throw is good from Veely, as Chris Brown, the athletic trainer for Labette County, is over there helping Landry O'Brien loosen up that wrist. Maybe it was just tight and sore, or maybe she's getting ready to go in. Time will tell. Veely misses the second, tipped around in the hands of Ridley, and a foul is going to go the other way, as the official that made the call isn't the official that should have made the call.
I was just getting ready to say that. Ridley was faced away from him.
Facing this official who was going to call a jump ball.
Exactly. So that was just interesting there. I was like, how did he see that?
He didn't.
Yeah, I know.
But I'll take it. I'll take it.
I won't complain.
But it was literally impossible for him to see that unless it was something that was on his side. Here's O'Brien on a fast break, and he's feeling good. He calls another foul on Independence.
Very confident in his calling in the past 30 seconds.
Absolutely. And I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
Each team with 3 team fouls. That's the first on Richenberger, and the first O'Brien free throws off the mark. She'll get another crack at it. Second is good.
Nice free throw there from O'Brien, cutting the lead down to 8.
5:40 left in the third. Here's a little kick out that's nearly stolen by O'Brien. And it'll stay with Independence as it tumbles out of bounds near the Independence cheer squad. Independence, obviously both teams switched ends. Independence is working the floor right to left. Here's Veely, no foul called. They've been calling those all night. I like the no call, but I'm glad that they swallowed that one. Here's Dewey, has to find someone. Finds Ridley, long pass up ahead, O'Brien baseline. She'll drive it, awkward floater, no. Rebound tipped out by Ridley, and it'll be Independence ball.
As that was still a good job by the Lady Grizzlies getting the ball down the floor as Audrey was kind of pressured late. And Ridley threw the ball, kind of a long pass to O'Brien, just unfortunate to tip it out of bounds there. So we'll see what Labette County can do as they press. They're in a 2-2 press.
Here's Veely crossing half court, double team, gives it up. Richenberger, left hand drive baseline, no foul called again. I'll take it. Ridley met her at the top. A good job from Ridley avoiding the jump ball. Wilson throws it up ahead to Jones crossing half court. Tempo's picked up a little bit here in Burlington. Here's Nevaeh, eyeing down her defender, cradles it, kicks it. O'Brien for three, too strong. She knew it, and that's a hard foul on Shelby Wilson. Behind the rebounder, Alex Jones.
Yes. Away from the ball, Wilson and Jones were kind of going at it there as Shelby kind of just body checked her. So that'll be her third personal foul as Vollmer is going to check in. Looks like Reagan Roberts goes to the scoring table, so she'll check in at the next dead ball.
Here's Veely breaking the press, pulls up from 6, misses the right-hand floater, and a nice rebound from Independence, flying over the back of 2 Grizzlies.
As we'll see who he calls that on.
On the rebound was Lemos. Who do you got on that?
Yeah, it looks like Ridley's going to get the foul on that. I thought he might call it on Shelby because she was on the play of that ball. But that'll be the third foul on Ridley as well. So both of those girls are going to sit, and Allie Martin and Reagan Roberts check in for those 2 Lady Grizzlies.
4:41 third quarter, 8-point Independence lead. Veely ghosted on the backside and a foul on Nevaeh Jones, so Veely's going to shoot 2 free throws. As even though Labette County's been outscored by 2 points and their lead or their deficit is more than it was at half, it still feels like this quarter has been productive. They've given themselves a chance. They played with more energy.
Yeah, it definitely is a much more energized team, so it's definitely good to see.
Veely makes the first free throw.
It's just a matter of overcoming that point deficit now that really is going to kind of keep being in the Lady Grizzlies' way here.
As it's tough because in that first half, you're down 6 at halftime.
Yeah.
And Independence's best scorer, Veely, who makes the second, scored just 2 points.
Yeah.
So you know her average is going to prevail, and it is so far, as she has 6 third-quarter points. 10-point Independence lead. Good backdoor pass from Rexwinkle to Roberts, and Roberts misses the lay-in. Offensive rebound, though, for Labette County. And here's Nevaeh Jones with it. O'Brien backing it out, slowing it down. Jones is on the floor with Roberts. Martin away from the ball, posting up. Rexwinkle and O'Brien. Here's Jones, nearing the halfway point, third quarter. 10-point Independence advantage. Here's a pass and a steal. Here comes Etchison up ahead, pass to Veely, and she's fouled, plus the bucket.
That was a good steal by Etchison and assist to Veely there to get the and one.
Three-point play is airballed by Veely.
That seems uncharacteristic of her.
Certainly. Roberts takes the seat. She's replaced by Ridley, who's playing with 3 personal fouls. So Labette County, halfway through the third quarter, trails by a dozen. Independence has doubled their halftime lead on the Lady Grizzlies. Here's Rexwinkle driving with the right hand, and an offensive foul.
I'm not sure I saw that one.
I think it was away from the ball, like a screen or something. Or what was supposed to be a screen, maybe.
Looks like he got Allie Martin on that.
Her second, and the team's 8th of the third quarter. Independence with just 3. Veely gets by 2 Grizzlies, shoots a layup, misses a layup. Here's Ridley with the board. Outlet to Addison, up ahead Nevaeh. Jab step settle. Rotates it. O'Brien now just inside the volleyball line. 3.5 minutes. Vollmer has the play in that she wants. Rexwinkle comes to get the ball, runs point, and she does. Right back to Caton, far wing, left side. Addison cuts, not there. Bounce pass to Nevaeh. She's looking for baseline, snatches behind the back, other direction. Ridley's posting up, and Caton dribbles right into the chest of Lemos, and a jump ball is called. Stays with Labette County, though.
They were definitely working the ball there, just an unfortunate kind of dribble in to Lemos' chest, so we'll see what the Lady Grizzlies decide to do now.
Ball's thrown in. Good set play. O'Brien from short. Misses. Rebound Etchison. And here comes Independence looking for more blood. She's uncontested, lets a three fly, misses. High rebound for Jones. She comes down with it, leans into Ridley, shoots over Ridley and misses. Veely backside. She gets the left-handed bucket to go, and Veely is having herself a third quarter. Coach Vollmer's going to call a timeout, and things have gotten ugly quick in this. Well, not necessarily quick, but slowly but surely they've gotten ugly in favor of Independence as they lead by 14 points. Independence 34, Labette County 20. We'd like to take this timeout to thank Labette Health for making this afternoon's broadcast of Grizzly basketball possible. Other sponsors include Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Woodworth Enterprises, Herman Lumber, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Labette Bank, the Bartlett Co-op, Community National Bank, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, USD 506, The Corner Store, SEK Orthopedic, Day and Zimmerman, and we'd like to remind you to stay tuned for our post-game show brought to you by Bowen Pharmacy. As Isabel, Independence has gained 8 points since the break on Labette County. 2:47 to go in the third quarter. You still have a whole quarter to come back. It's not the deficit that is the problem, but it's the way in which the game is trending that is the issue.
Yeah, exactly right. Independence just kind of seems to have their foot in the driver seat, and they're just continuing to go. And so it's just one of those things where, you know, Labette County has to respond somehow, and that's how you see a deficit get beat. Of course, yes, you have to score, but if Independence keeps having their way with it and just kind of scoring at will almost, then we're definitely going to have a problem.
That stops the clock at 2:37. That is the second foul on Alex Jones and just the fourth as a team on Independence. Labette County will inbounds on the near sideline, just here lower and to the right of Isabel and I up on the top row of the bleachers. And they throw it in. Here's Nevaeh Jones. Throws it to Lynn Cherney at the elbow. Tried to face, but nothing was there. Caton will drive with the right hand with the bounce pass to Rexwinkle. A three-pointer is in and out. That's her favorite spot to shoot from, it seems like, is the corner. And the rebound is a jump ball, actually, in the far corner. And the possession goes to Independence this time.
Yeah, so even though we didn't get the possession on that, that was still a good, get them set, get them in their 2-2 press again, as Vollmer calls out. Rather than having Independence do another transition breakaway.
Right. Independence has it. Maddox throws it to Veely. Veely with a 10-point third quarter, and it's going to go off of Maddox's foot as she just kind of lost it and rolled off of her leg out of bounds. It'll be Labette County ball. You can't let Independence score in the next 2 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, agreed.
And if you could score 3 more baskets, you'd be within 8 going into the fourth quarter.
And that's definitely,
sounds easy.
Yeah, that's definitely a doable, kind of thing to try to accomplish in the fourth quarter if you can get it down to 8.
Here's O'Brien trying to kick that stretch off, defended by Veely tightly. Jones with it, given no space. Richenberger the defender. Set play, O'Brien for 3, it'd be big. Oh, she missed it, barely, as it was deep, but just by a hair, and she crashes bodies with Veely, and the refs are eyeing down a fan in the stands. It'll be a 1-and-1 at the other end for Veely. First free throw is good for Veely. She's up to 11 on the quarter alone. She was held to just 2 points in the first half in all. Shelby Wilson checks in for Caton O'Brien. And was it Audrey that came in for Allie Martin? I believe it was.
Yes.
Veely's second free throw is good as well. Lead is back to 16 for Independence. Not the swing you were hoping for if you're a Grizzly fan. Labette County needs a magical 90 seconds to give them a chance in the fourth quarter. Nevaeh Jones switches hands, patiently awaits her moment, and a foul away from the ball. Veely has a conversation with the far official, and that'll just be the 5th team foul on Independence of the half, as Labette County's walked their way up to 9 team fouls this half. Veely still pleading a case, or at least maybe asking for an explanation, as that is her first. As now Coach Bird is talking to the official, and now play is back on the go. Labette County trails by 16, a minute 15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Audrey Dewey with it. Labette County just has 4 points in the 3rd quarter. I'm telling you, this game is copy and paste from that game back in Harrison in December when we played Independence. And Nevaeh Jones is going to shoot 2 free throws as she's fouled on a running right-hand shot off the glass. But just those quarters where Labette County lays an egg, you can't overcome them.
Yeah, it's definitely proven difficult here for the Lady Grizzlies. Yeah, you're right. It's just
first free throw's no good for Nevaeh. Here's her second. 2 dribbles, holds it, and gets it. Nevaeh's at 8 with 60 seconds to go, and the lead's at 15 for Independence. Veely nearly travels, and here she'll cross half court. Double team, ball's tipped, nearly stolen. Pass across the paint's intercepted by Ridley, and a foul on Johnson. Going the other way, that's the 6th as a team, or no, the 7th as a team on Independence. So it'll be 1-1 for Ridley on the other end of the floor. That's the 3rd or 4th on Johnson, as she's going to be replaced by Johnson. That is the 4th on Johnson. Or Jones, pardon me. Jones replaced Johnson. Ridley's first free throw is off the mark. Rebound Independence. Her first free throw of the game. Ridley had a 2-point basket early in the 1st quarter. Here's Maddox, spinning, patiently awaits her moment, gives it up to Lemos, misses a turnaround, rebound fought for. Ridley with another board and creating another foul on Independence, and she'll go get another try at the free throw line at the other end.
It's definitely here late, and especially as we move into the 4th quarter. I mean, this is where the Lady Grizzlies can definitely kind of start to trek back here, as these free throws are so valuable.
Oh, yeah. They are.
Because I'm not exactly, they've definitely been to the line a little bit tonight. I don't know what exactly the free throw percentage is, but they've definitely struggled here. And so it'd be nice to see them kind of turn that percentage around.
Fouls on Lemos, her 2nd, team's 8th. Ridley at the line, gets it. It thought about it, hit the back rim, went a couple feet in the air, and came back home. Madison Ballinger checks back in for Lemos. Ridley's 2nd to get the lead to 13. Misses. Rebounded by Maddox. And she'll push the pace with the left hand. Veely awaiting the rock on the far side. And she'll get it. 25 seconds to go. Veely with a sensational 3rd quarter mans the ship on this possession. Coach Bird watches on. 15 seconds now. Dewey swarming the ball handler, Etchison. She'll drive all the way to the rim, shoot a floater, miss it off the baseline. Rebound Wilson. Labette County has 3 seconds. Here's Rexwinkle. She's going to be double teamed, squares up, shoots a 3, a long one, and it misses well short. But Coach Vollmer gives her starters, or rather players on the floor, a high five as they come back to the bench, as they're going to go into the 4th quarter facing a 14-point deficit from Burlington. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the 4th and final quarter on KLKC Parsons.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
(36-22) Independence advantage from the middle school here in Burlington, home of the Bobcats. Jack Leak with Isabel Redford. We've seen stranger things happen against Independence. It was our boys team trailed by 14 with 4 minutes to go. So hopefully these Lady Grizzlies can get it going, down 14 with 8 minutes to go. Nevaeh misses on a three, rebounded by Independence, and here comes Etchison wasting no time. Defended tightly by O'Brien. Again, our boys will play at 8:15 this evening, as that time is tentative, as this is a tournament. Veely misses a three-pointer, rebounded on the backside, hitting the floor is Ballinger with Dewey, and a jump ball will stay with Independence.
Yeah, as these Lady Grizzlies are just going to kind of have to give it everything they have and leave it all on the floor, as we'll see how they defend this inbounds play.
Ball's trying to be inbounded. They finally find Veely in the short corner on the right side. Veely might have got away with a carry as she kind of paused the ball on her hip and then proceeded to keep dribbling. Referee didn't see it, I guess. Here's a drive, a floater, missed short. Etchison on the shot. Outlet all the way up ahead to Jones. It's a 2-on-3 situation in favor of Independence. Here's Wilson, left open for three, air ball left side. Dewey's going to try to save it and doesn't quite get it in time. Her foot was out of bounds, but that'll give Labette County time to set up their press.
Yeah, as that could have easily resulted in a transition breakaway going the other way in favor of Independence.
Full timeout, Coach Bird. He hasn't burned too many timeouts, hasn't really needed to, but we'll take this with him. 60 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKCradio.com.
Point Independence advantage as we begin the last 6.5 minutes of the ball game from Burlington. Out of the Coach Bird timeout, it's an empty possession for the Lady Bulldogs, and here come your Grizzlies. Kaiten O'Brien with a deep three-pointer misses off the mark. Ridley fighting all she can for that board, but can't quite save it. It'll be Independence ball underneath the Labette County basket.
Yes, that wasn't a bad shot there taken by Kaiten, but man, Ridley almost had that rebound, and I was excited to watch her kind of put that back up, but just slid right out of the tips of her fingers.
Here comes Richenberger. Up the floor. Labette County trying to press him. Hasn't really created too much havoc. Veely left open for three. Misses off the right wing. And here comes Labette County the other direction. going to have to make up some ground. They're playing a little bit better defensively. Nevaeh Jones' three-pointer dies off the front of the rim. Rebounded, though, by Wilson. Has nowhere to go. Gives it to Dewey, who draws a foul. And Wilson and Alex Jones just hit the deck. There's been a little bit of friction, I think, between Wilson and Jones.
Yeah, they definitely, I'm not sure if anything's been said or just the fact that they're both being very aggressive, but they've been going at it this game for sure.
Dewey shooting 2 free throws. Foul count has evened at 9 for each squad. Dewey's first is off the mark, as Labette County shot a few more free throws tonight than they had been, so they've met that key to the game, but making them might be the key to the game on Friday, as they've struggled to make them this afternoon for sure. Dewey misses both, and it's rebound Independence. Just the amount of empty possessions has been substantial for Labette County, as we do have an Independence turnover. A double dribble is going to be called in the full court set from Lemos, so Independence will have to defend Labette under that basket now. Four out, one in. Lynn Cherney is the post player. She'll catch it, kick, Dewey, head fake and drive. Gets her man to bite, layup, good. That feels like eternity since Labette County has scored a field goal, Isabel.
Yeah, that was definitely something that they needed to happen, as that felt good if you're a Grizzly fan.
Just their second field goal of the second half, as that is their first points of the fourth quarter, and just their 8th point of the second half in total. We have a foul on Labette County on the other end of the floor. That's the 4th on Lynn Cherney, and it will be 2 free throws this time, as that's the 10th team foul on Labette. For Lemos, she misses the first. As a big shout out to Lucas Hayward, our YouTube operator over here on the iPad. There's a new update on our system, and he can now have the scoreboard on there, but he has to stop it and start it. And so for him to keep it on track, amidst all the timeouts, adding the score, putting up graphics, that is impressive.
Yeah.
So well done, Lucas, on keeping that score on there, the time rather. As another miss from Lemos, and then a miss from O'Brien on the other end. So the possession has switched hands twice after the Lemos free throws. And it'll be Independence ball out of the Coach Bird timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Labette trails by 12 with 5.5 to go in the game. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
36-24 is your score with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the ball game from Burlington. Jack Leak with Isabel Redford and Lucas Hayward on the KLKC Sports YouTube live stream. Thank you for tuning in. This afternoon's broadcast is powered by Labette Health, as Labette County's looking to get back in this one. Only down 12, their defense has picked it up in the late third quarter, early fourth, but the offensive efficiency has still been rock bottom, as it has for the last 3 quarters. Veely with the ball, defended by Dewey on the first possession out of the Coach Bird Independence timeout. Veely with it again. She had a huge third quarter. Independence has yet to score in the fourth. Here's a drive from Richenberger, fouled hard across the body, and Riley will find herself at the line shooting a pair of free throws. That'll be the 10th team foul on Labette County, and I think the 3rd on Shelby Wilson. Her 4th, actually. As her and Ridley both have 4. Richenberger's first free throw is good. Their first point of the fourth quarter, after they had a 14-point third quarter, and 12 of them came from Veely. Richenberger looking to go 2 for 2, and does. Lead is pushed back up to 14 for Independence.
And again, if you're Labette County, you can't take a disadvantage of the time here. You've got to, figure out how to score fast.
Dewey has it on the right side. It kind of seems like each individual for Labette County is waiting on someone else to make something happen.
Yeah.
And they're waiting on the perfect shot. Well, it's a little bit late in the game, and your deficit to wait on the perfect shot. As Nevaeh Jones' three-pointer hits the rim, goes high over the backboard, it'll be Independence ball. We've gotten into kind of a stagnant rhythm of dribble a little bit, penetrate.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'll kick it. Oh, I'll penetrate and kick. No, I'll penetrate and kick.
Yeah.
And then a shot gets put up 40 seconds later that might not be the best. So it's just been a sluggish, easy team to defend today in Labette County as O'Brien does get a steal, misses a layup, rebound Dewey. Her left-hand putback is missed, as that kind of has been a bit of the story a little bit as well. But a steal and a putback by O'Brien is good. As I talked enough junk on Labette County that something good came out of it, as we have a near steal, and we do. I'll take it. It's a travel, rather. So Labette County has a 12-point deficit again in their midst with 3:50 to go in the game, and the basketball. Two Grizzlies check into the game.
Is that definite?
Aubrey Boss, I think. I get them mixed up.
I think it's Aubrey, and then Addison checked in, I believe.
Caton for three to get it to single digits. It's good. Caton O'Brien gets Labette County within 9 from the left wing. 3:40 to go. Timeout, Independence. Labette County only trails by single digits. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
With 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the game, as now things start to get interesting, as not only is Labette County within reaching distance, but the pressure has flipped. Independence has turned it over 2 of their last possessions, and Labette County's capitalized off of both of them. They inbound it. Pressured again. It's going to be a near steal, and they're going to call a foul on Labette County. Oh, my goodness.
Because that's just unfortunate, but you're right, Labette County, I think they heard you talking trash and decided to prove you wrong. So
that happened
they're
with
making
our boys last year.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. We were dogging them.
They were down 14 with 4 minutes to go at Independence, and we were talking some trash on those boys, and they came back and won that thing. So it wasn't intentional. It was all factual, but the broadcaster jinx is a real thing.
Yeah.
The first free throw on this end is good from Etchison. As Richenberger, who had 8 points in the second quarter, has yet to hit a field goal in this half. Etchison misses the second. Lead is still at 10 for Independence. And here come the Lady Grizzlies. Can't have too many empty possessions from here on out. Allie Martin with it in the corner. O'Brien cuts away from the ball. Martin still driving. Kicks it to Dewey. She has a jump stop, and a foul on Veely is called. So Dewey's going to shoot 2 free throws, as that's the 10th team foul on Independence. So Dewey can get a point up on Independence if she makes them both and get the lead to 8.
Yeah, as that would definitely be best case scenario here. As you can definitely tell, Labette County just keeps fighting back here.
First free throw is good from Audrey, as it always helps to get that first one out of the way. Second, no good. It almost went so far to the corner I thought Labette might have a chance at the board.
Yeah, I did too.
But here comes Veely. Independence by 9. Veely, full head of steam, to the rack, scores. Somehow, it wasn't the prettiest layup, as it barely just hit the rim and snuck with some topspin over the top of the rim and fell in. Independence back up 11. O'Brien, near travel, kick out. Jones for three from the top of the key. Too short, rebound Jones. Etchison the other direction. Her and Johnson against three Lady Grizzlies, and now Etchison slows it down. A foul on Labette County is called, and it'll be 2 free throws for Riley Richenberger.
That'll be the first personal foul on Rex Winkle.
The first free throw, it's 2 shots for Richenberger, is no good. Ridley Lynn Cherney and Shelby Wilson check in for Allie Martin and Addison Rexwinkle. So starters are on the floor for Labette County. Landry O'Brien did suit up. We didn't see her today, but she did suit up. The second is no good as well. Rebound tipped high in the air, and she gets her own miss. Independence with a fresh possession. Chance to get it to 9 or 8 again.
Yeah.
With still enough time, 2.5 minutes, but Independence is going to burn some clock. Here's Jones from the short corner, misses right rim. Rebound Dewey. Full head of steam, dribbling hard with that right hand. All the way to the rim, off the glass, didn't even hit the rim. And it's rebounded by Veely. And then a foul. I don't see how that's a foul, but he calls it. And I think they're going to get Dewey. And 2 free throws coming for Independence. That's been the story of the night. Man, so many free throws have been shot tonight by both squads.
Yeah. Which in that case, I mean, that's just an unfortunate foul. Thankfully, that's just Dewey's second. But it does stop the clock and keeps Labette County within striking distance.
First free throw from Veely is bottoms. She hits it. She'll get one more. 2:18 to go. Labette trails by 12. They were down by as many as 16. Never got more than that, but it never got less than 9 here in the second half. They trailed by 6 at halftime. Veely misses the second, and Johnson gets the board. She's going to put it up and score. Tian Johnson just hit Labette County with the biggest dagger of the ball game.
As yeah, she's definitely played a big role tonight for the Lady Bulldogs, as she's been phenomenal.
Only has 8 points, but have played with foul trouble. O'Brien airballs a 3. Out of bounds it goes. Wilson hits the deck again. I think that's the 3rd or 4th time Shelby's hit the floor. It'll be Independence ball. It's looking gloom now. Labette trails by 14 with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, you just need to play hard here, continue to fight for the basketball, and just finish strong.
As Veely, did she travel? She did. It was a late signal. The whistle was on time, but he waited a little bit, let the crowd build some anticipation, and then he called the travel. So it'll be Labette County basketball. O'Brien will run the point. Rexwinkle will pitch it into her as Dewey has a seat. O'Brien, Vollmer urging her team to go. O'Brien kicks it to the corner. Rexwinkle squares up but travels before the shot. She hit the three-pointer, would have cut it to 11 with 1:40 to go, but she traveled before the shot was put up.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate because, yeah, pretty shot there by Rexwinkle.
Etchison gets the inbounds pass. Defended by Rexwinkle all the way. Throws it overhead to Veely, left wing. Settling into the offense is Richenberger, playing pitch and catch with her fellow point guard, the senior, Veely.
Now they are just going to, looks like they are wasting clock, kind of getting around. And if they take a shot here, I'd imagine it'd be a wide open one.
As I think they're just going to wait for Labette County to either steal it from them or foul them. And Nevaeh Jones, or no, he points to O'Brien.
Yeah, I think he got O'Brien on the arm grab there for Veely.
So it'll be 2 free throws for Veely and extend this game just that much more. That's the 5th on O'Brien. So she'll have to have a seat as she fouls out. Another great game, though, from Caton. She's replaced by Dewey for the closing 72 seconds. Veely's first free throw is off the mark, a little bit too strong. The senior will get one more crack at it. We had held her pretty quiet like we did in that first contest, but in the third quarter, she had 12 points and has 3 so far in the fourth with this free throw coming. She misses. So Labette County's got it down 14 with 65 seconds to go. Dewey has it right wing. Lynn Cherney flashes and collects it. She'll put it on the floor, has it nearly stolen away. Dewey still backing down her defender, just loses it out of bounds. Turnover Labette County to just kind of cap off this disappointment of an afternoon for the Lady Grizzlies. Is up ahead. Richenberger will have it for the Independence offense. Dewey will tip it. Lynn Cherney steals it up ahead to Dewey. She'll shoot a layup and miss. Rebound Veely. 40 seconds and counting. It's pitched up ahead to Richenberger. Her foot was out of bounds, as this is the longest minute and 7 seconds in some time. But hey, I'm all for it. Give Labette County credit. They're not quitting until the horn sounds, as you should.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, you don't want to lose. I mean, granted, so far it's a 14-point deficit. You don't want to lose by that much by any means, but Coach Fulmer's just continuing to cheer her girls on and have them work, and you got to be able to hold your head high there as a backcourt violation's called on Addison as she just kind of dribbled it out. So Lady Bulldogs will inbound on their side of the court.
It goes to Veely. Turnovers have been a problem, but I'm not going to say they've necessarily lost it for Labette County.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, maybe, but Independence is just a little bit higher level right now. Not to say they won't be that way. We might rise to that level when we go to Independence, but certainly Independence is a tough ball club to hang with for 4 straight quarters. As the buzzer's going to sound, Abby Veely dribbles it out, and that'll do it from Burlington Middle School. Labette County falls to Independence in our ladies contest in the first round of the Burlington Invitational by a score of 44-30. So Labette County will play on Friday in the middle school. They will play the loser of Rock Creek and Burlington. Rock Creek, the 3 seed at 7-1, and Burlington, the 6 seed at 3-4. So we will await the opponent there as those two teams play in the high school at 6:40 here this evening later on. They do not have times for Friday's matchups down on the bracket yet. So if Coach Vollmer joins us for our Bowen Pharmacy post-game show here after this break, we will see if she knows what time they will play on Friday. But if not, we will have that out to you. If we don't get it out to you, just pay attention to your social medias, your news, whatnot, Keisha or Burlington's website, and the time will be on there, I'm assuming, later on in the next couple days. But for now, Lady Grizzlies fall to the Lady Bulldogs 44-30. We'll step aside for a 2-minute timeout and come back with our Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Lady Grizzly basketball here on KLKC Parsons. Welcome in, Grizzly Nation, to our Bowen Pharmacy post-game show. Unfortunately, it's following a Lady Grizzly defeat. They fall to the Lady Bulldogs 44-30. Jack Leak with Isabel Redford, as it really was. It was very similar to that game against Independence. I know I've said that probably 15, 16, 17 times tonight, but it was identical, except that the game got out of hand a little bit sooner than it did in that first contest. But very similar in a lot of ways. Labette County just can't quite hang with Independence right now. They just quite can't. They just can't.
Yeah.
Not to say that they won't be able to when they go to Independence later on. I think it's in February. But, I mean, we can beat them. That's without question.
Yeah.
They're not that much better than we are. But I'd say certainly right now Independence is the better team, and credit to them for that. Have a lot of good players that can put up points. And speaking of which, Abby Veely, who was held to just 2 points in the first half, finished the game with 17 total points. Riley Richenberger, who we held pretty quiet with just 4 points. It was Etchison who was kind of the 1-2 punch with Veely in that first contest. But this afternoon it was Richenberger. She had 11. Also scoring for Independence, Tion Johnson, who played with multiple fouls for a while. Actually, she didn't play a lot of this second half because of fouls. Still had 8 points, but I'm telling you, if Tion Johnson didn't have foul trouble, this game could have been even uglier. Labette County had no answer for Tion Johnson. She's a great post player, smart, seasoned player. She had 8 points and was very efficient with the very few minutes it felt like she played. Other scores for the Lady Bulldogs, Maddox had 4, Etchison had 3, Jones had 2, and Lemos had 1. For your Labette County Grizzlies, O'Brien had 11. That's Caton. Her sister Landry suited up and warmed up but did not play. We might see her this weekend on Friday or Saturday or both. Nevaeh Jones had 8. Shelby Wilson had 4. Ridley Lynn Cherney and Audrey Dewey each had 3. And Allie Martin had a point. So a similar looking box score as to that first matchup, just a lot of comparisons, not a lot of contrast. But Isabel, your box score totals kind of tell a little bit of the story. Quarter by quarter, Labette County and Independence. It goes Labette County 10, Independence 8. In the second quarter, Labette County 6, Independence 13. And in the third quarter, 6 for Labette County and 14 for Independence. And then in that fourth quarter, Labette County had 8 and Independence had 9. You're not going to win a lot of games with a box score that goes 10, 6, 6, and 8, and you just put up 30 points, which is just 8 more from that sluggish offensive affair that you had against them in that first time, where you held Independence to 38 in that first contest and 44 tonight, which is more but still reasonable. You should be in that game, but that just wasn't the case here this afternoon, where Independence just kept Labette County, and credit the Lady Bulldogs. You kept them at arm's reach for all 4 quarters.
Yeah, it was definitely something you saw flashes of improvements, and we even talked about that in the second half, of just, they had times where they had played offensively well, or they had, different things, but just little things like the turnovers and, your passing, and just the fact that the Lady Bulldogs are kind of that next level up as far as, being able to score more willingly, and we just had more droughts of offensive, just non-production. We had a lot of shots go in and out. We had a lot of just missed shots, missed opportunities, rushed possessions. So it's definitely something that I think they'll need to clean up, and it's nice to kind of play. Coaches don't always want to see, SEK teams, in tournaments and in things like this, but I think it was nice for kind of a wake-up call for Labette County of going, look, like, we can beat these girls, because I think they can. They've got the skills, they've got, the talent to do so. It's just a matter of fact of putting it all together and mentally going, okay, we can handle these girls, let's go get it done.
Right.
And so hopefully when we go play them, they'll kind of clean up that end a little bit and be able to, put up a performance that at least, isn't a double-digit deficit or is a win, as a matter of fact. I mean, I definitely think that's something these girls are going to want going to Independence the next time we see them, which I believe is February 3rd. And so it'll just be something to watch for whenever, moving forward. And so, yes, tonight was a loss. And, it's unfortunate because now the Lady Grizzlies are on the losing side of the bracket. But it definitely won't be something they have to hang their heads about, as it doesn't affect league play. But it just gives them kind of a target on the wall to shoot for, moving forward in this tournament and just in the season in general.
As playing an SEK opponent in these regular season tournaments certainly isn't something that is ideal.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't seem like coaches really like it. But I think it gives an advantage if you were to have to choose between Independence and Labette. You'd have to say Labette County because Independence should be more frustrated, if they are at all, about playing Labette County 3 times this year because you kind of know you're a little bit better team than Labette County. So that being said, it's a little bit harder to beat a team 3 straight times.
Yeah.
So the advantage, if any, it's all kind of psychic anyways, if any, goes to Labette County because you're a little bit lesser of a team. So even if you would have won today, it still doesn't really have that mental impact when you go into Independence because you're not really projected to win anyways. But Independence has done what they were supposed to do, beat Labette County both times they played them this year. Independence was supposed to beat Labette County both times they played, and they did. Now they have to do it again. So it's a little bit tough if your Independence coming at it from, you are the team that is supposed to win. So now you have to beat them a 3rd time. So, it might just be talk, but, beating team 3 times is certainly something that is difficult to do. So Independence will have to do it again, but it certainly wasn't pretty. There were flashes that were positive, but not stretches that were positive. And that is what Labette County needed, was stretches that were positive to get back in it. But after that lead got above double digits, it never got back within 9. They got to 9, but not within 8, As Independence is going to take on Rock Creek, I'm going to hang out and watch Coach Smith, one of my favorite people on the earth, coach his Bulldogs and cheer them on as they take on the Mustangs of Rock Creek. As we're going to go ahead and take a 3-minute timeout and give Coach Vollmer a little bit of time and just see if she may join us for the rest of our Bowen Pharmacy postgame show. But if not, we will have our final thoughts from the middle school and then take a break and come back at 8 o'clock roughly for our boys contest as they take on Ottawa. But for now, a 3-minute timeout and a continued Bowen Pharmacy postgame show after this. post-game show. Here from Burlington Middle School, home of the Bobcats, Lady Grizzlies fall 44-30 to the Lady Bulldogs, as we are joined by head coach Brianna Vollmer of those Lady Grizzlies. As coach, what are just some of your opening thoughts of a game that felt kind of similar to that first contest with those guys back in December?
Yeah, we were dictated a little bit by our offense instead of our defense tonight. We talked about that. We talked about switching a lot of things, and they did a really nice job of utilizing their big post player, and that really hurt us early, and then we kind of were reeling after that. We got in a little bit of foul trouble, and we just never really responded. I think we have a tendency to kind of, any game that's been really physical, we've kind of, I shouldn't say pout, but we don't respond very well to that, and we didn't do that tonight. I just told the girls in the locker room, this is basketball. I heard a lot of people in the stands complaining from every team in every direction, and I was like, listen guys, this is basketball. This is our contact sport. You're going to get hit. If we want to complain about officiating, it hasn't gotten any better throughout the year. We know that this tournament's going to be extremely physical, and it's a really good test for us, and it has been for 30 years that we've been in it. So we kind of got to get over that. We got to learn how to play physical, because it's going to do nothing but help us later on in the season in SEK play, and then in the postseason as we move along in our season. So we got to play physical. If we're going to be a small team, we've got to be able to handle that and match that, and we just didn't do that tonight.
As coach, what's kind of the key to getting Ridley's feet back under her a little bit? I mean, she's playing fine, but not scoring the ball at the clip that she was a little bit earlier before winter break. Allie Martin as well, just kind of the post presence. What's the key to getting those paint points a little bit higher? I know it's tough. You said you're smaller, and you are.
Yes.
But we've seen flashes. So what's the key to making those stretches?
I think just cleaning things up. I think Ridley was flying to the glass constantly. I told Ridley early, I need you to get 10 boards a game. And if you're getting 10 boards a game, that means that you're getting some offensive things done and you're playing physical.
Right.
Nope, they're not doing it.
Perfect.
I was a post player, and it takes work, and it takes constant just drive, and you're playing from inline to inline, not from three-point line to three-point line. And so Ridley has that capability. She's a banger. She's not graceful naturally if you watch her play, but she's definitely got that capability in her. I think we were just kind of taken out of our rhythm tonight with their big post player. She's fantastic. She's a really good player, and she was a banger, but she was in foul trouble, the vast majority of the game, and we didn't capitalize on that. So we've got to recognize when kids are off the floor and what are their tendencies, and now we've got to go, and we threw the press on a little bit, and it seemed like we didn't hold our ground and go make traps very well. We were kind of in scramble mode in the second half, so we gotta find a presence in all positions, but definitely in the post. Those are things that we've got to go work on.
Sure. As you know, Abby Veely held her to 12 in the last game. She ended up bleeding out to 17 points, but man, she had to earn it.
She did.
And in the first half had just 2, and so you kind of put the clamps on her, and again, defense was setting you up to have a chance when it didn't feel right or it didn't feel pretty. Just talk a little bit about that aspect.
Against really good teams, it's defined by little moments. And I think we started, and our defense was really good. We were jumping in the direction of passes. We were switching everything, which was our game plan. And then we'd have tiny little breakdowns, and that's when we'd either foul or, we'd give up a wide open layup. I think mentally I counted at least 5 times where we gave up wide open layups on out of bounds plays. I think that's silly. We can't do that. We have to be able to switch on those screens and recognize that and step up and meet and greet people. And I think that's the frustrating thing as a coach and coaching teenage girls at that, is that, you coach these same things over and over again. Like, you get beat once, don't beat me twice. So those are all things that we have to work on and buckle down on, and we just got to find a way to win. We got to find a way to put the ball in the hole. I think we missed a whole lot of layups. I'd hate to see what our shooting percentage was in the second half. But those are all things that we can fix and take care of. But against really good teams, we got to do all the small things.
Yeah,
right.
That's well said.
Yeah, it is. And Coach, you'll play on Friday. You get the loser, I believe, here in the middle school of Rock Creek and Burlington. They'll play at 6:40 tonight. Are you going to stay and watch, or the Rock Creek Burlington, or just kind of how you usually do it, just some post-game scouting, things like that? I know it's a late night.
I want to get my kids home, so I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes with the great invention of Huddle, we get to see film.
That's true.
The only thing film doesn't give you is kind of size. You can't really see that on film, and speed. But I think it's more important to get our kids home and
I agree.
regroup and have 2 days to work on whoever we play and whoever we see. We'll probably know that game is probably over. So I'm going to get my kids home. We're going to get in bed, and then we're going to regroup tomorrow. We're going to focus on us, and then we'll focus on whoever we have on Friday.
Sounds great, Coach, and hopefully, I'm not sure, I don't think anyone knows, but times for Friday's games, I was telling our listeners earlier, they're not on here. Saturday's tip-off times are, but Friday, the times aren't on here. Do you know all those? I don't think they've released it yet.
No, this guy walking in front of us, actually, he's the tournament manager, so I'm about to go ask him.
Oh, there you go.
In years past, we played both early games on Friday, so I don't know if that stays the same or if we get switched to the late game. I'm not really sure, so I'm going to go find out. I'll shoot you a text, and I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Well, thank you very much, Coach, and thanks for coming up as always,
Yeah.
even after the tough ones. But any closing thoughts? I don't want to just
No, I don't think so. My kids are going to continue to work hard. They've been working hard. I just got to keep their confidence up, and I think that's half the battle with this group and with this team and with kids in general. And we're going to go back to work. I don't think we have to go back to the drawing board. We've just got to work on being a basketball player and work on our offense that we know it works, and work on our defense and buckle down. And most of it's mental right now. So we're going to go back to fixing things and playing hard and what makes us us.
Well, go do it, Coach. Get those things fixed up, and we'll talk to you on Friday.
All right, thanks, guys. Be safe.
Thank you, Coach.
You as well. As that's head coach of the Lady Grizzlies, Brianna Vollmer, as she just mentioned, she's going to go ask the tournament manager when they play on Friday, and we'll announce that to you if she does get an answer and sends me that time during our boys game here tonight. And before we go off the air, we'll remind you that we will be back on the air at tentatively 8 o'clock, as sometimes these tournaments run late and sometimes they run ahead of schedule. But regardless, just kind of keep your hand on the dial or on that YouTube refresh button. I would say probably around 7:45 until 8:20, 8:30, and just listen for us, and we'll be there covering the boys as they play Ottawa. Lady Grizzlies fall 44-30 for Isabel Redford and Lucas Hayward. My name's Jack Leake, and we'll talk to you later on tonight from Burlington here on KLKC. And as always, God bless.